Greetings, beautiful friends. Happy Monday to you, and happy Victoria Day to my Canadian friends. Here we are with our usual Monday check-in and our inner compass forecast for the week ahead. As we start this week, we are still being very deeply affected by the super new moon in the sign of Taurus, which arrived on the 16th. So just a couple of days in, we're still really being drawn to, inspired, supported to really get in touch with our own right rhythm. There's so much flow around this at the moment. Really getting in touch with our own right rhythm of being and doing and letting go of anything that does not serve who you are becoming. You know, the energies of this year were always going to be very powerful and potent. We are now in the year of the fire horse, of the starting of a new 9-year cycle. So I feel like every time we go through the different phases of the moon, it's really about witnessing and watching and calibrating to that upward spiral. I always think of that we are all on a spiral, and we're all on our own trajectory, our own path. And this is why I really find it so important to just kind of come in and have these conversations with you, because the best navigational tool is to come home to you. And so with that new moon, that's all about really, really encouraging you to take action steps, because this week we start getting into action. So the lunar effect that we're stepping into as this week continues is the first quarter phase of the moon in the sign of Virgo. And so as we step forward, you know, when we have a new moon, that's not necessarily about action. It's about contemplation and planting seeds, but also following your intuition. That's very, very strongly suggested for us with that last week's energy. And now, with the first quarter phase of the moon, this is when we start to actually take those steps forward. Now, there's a very strong impulse in this, with it being in the sign of Virgo. It's important to, you know, I just said a moment ago about finding our right rhythm, finding our gifts, our talents. If you've watched these before, you know one of my favorite questions is to suggest you use this too, is how does this make me feel about me? How does this, meaning this intention, this idea, this direction, this choice, this environment, these people, these ideas, these goals, these intentions, how does this or these make me feel about me? And it's an invitation to come in to the wisdom of your heart. And you see me lean back in my chair. I've been doing this a lot, because sometimes our head will have us believe, oh my gosh, I have to do this and I have to do this, and look at all this stuff's going on. I'm not saying there isn't a lot of stuff going on, but what can we do about it? Well, maybe we can just come home to our heart. And why I was bringing that up is there's a strong suggestion for us to get really in touch with a skill, a talent, a unique piece. You know, you may have heard before about ancestral wisdom, things that we've inherited through our mother, father, grandparents type of lineage, but maybe also from our own bloodline. Each one of us, and you might have heard this idea before, that as souls, not only did we choose to be here at this time, but we also chose the date of our birth. We chose the family to live in. We chose them. Now, I know that can sometimes bring up a little bit of a conflict within us of, oh my gosh, if I chose this, why did I choose this? Come back home and lovingly accept, maybe I can't see the truth right now, but maybe it's time to start a new journaling routine, a new way of just accepting and trusting. You as a soul chose this. So Have you been overlooking or ignoring or not allowing yourself to lean into a unique talent? Maybe it's your intuition. Maybe it's your capacity and ability to allow people to speak their truth, or to get in touch with calming their own nervous system. It doesn't have to be some big, huge thing lit up. These steps forward that we're now being kind of guided into, they don't have to be massive quantum leaps. In fact, a massive quantum leap begins with the connection with the smallest step forward. So take a nice deep breath. We're going to start pulling some cards to really help us lean into this energy of coming out of that contemplation, that intention setting, and start moving forward with your right rhythm, in your right rhythm, but also bringing in your unique talents and gifts. So come into your heart space. Take a nice deep breath with me. And the first deck of cards that I used for these sessions with you is my Letting Go guidance system. Because as we traverse the choices and the situations and the events and the opportunities, there will be things, because as we do that, we don't carry forward everything that we've experienced, every choice, every word, every thought, every decision. So it's always about really recognizing within you that as you evolve, as you become more in touch with your own soul's guidance, there will be things that you say, okay, that's over, that's done. That pattern, that paradigm, that way of doing things, that even sometimes it's that group of people that I was in. It's time to say thank you, but I'm moving on. So take a nice deep breath and let's see, where are we going to be guided to let go of? Oh, this is a good one. It's approval of others. Just turn that so you can see it. Approval of others. So that's such a potent one here. Are you resting in something? Are you waiting for somebody's approval before you step up and say, this is who I am? This is how I roll. I prefer being this way and everybody else around me is going this way. It's so important to release that. Sometimes when we compare ourselves to others, we kind of lock up or freeze because, oh, I can't do this because what will that person say about me or think about me? This is time to come home and calibrate to your own wisdom, your own gift, your own soul's purpose. We all have one. Are you aligning with yours? Now let's see what wisdom wants to come up and help guide us with this from the tarot. It's the Magician. That's why I giggled. The Magician. The Magician reminds us, not only are you magical and spiritual and powerful in the right place at the right time, but you have everything you need. That's the Magician's reminder. And so if we are looking at letting go of the propensity to freeze or do things in a certain way to get acceptance or approval from others, remind yourself, I don't need anybody to approve me. I need to approve of myself and pick up my magical wand, because so be it. So be it. If there's something that you want to intend or experience, you have the capacity to make it so. So breathe into that. And now moving into the next deck of cards, I like to pull 3 of the Healing with the Angels cards to see what energies, what support. Oh, 2 of my favorite two of my favorite cards came out on this one, and this one's my favorite one out of this entire deck. It's emerging. So if we get stuck in thinking, I'm not good enough, I don't have these talents, other people do, I need their approval, we are denying the fact that we are in the right place at the right time, and the truth of you is emerging. What can you do to actually lean into that? To lean into that, and not only that, this is the other card that I really like in this deck. Remind yourself of your power. That actually also speaks to the magician's energy there too. You are powerful beyond measure. Can you learn to be your own best friend? This is such an important one. So as we move forward, that it's so important to always be and show up as your best friend first and foremost. Of course, we do need other people around us, and we do gravitate towards people that make us feel good, that help us, that support us, that feel in alignment with us. But in order for that to be potent and powerful and connected, we have to be our own best friend first. So that when you do have interactions, they're bonuses, they're connections, they're soul-led, they're heartfelt. As opposed to when we're in our head, then we kind of get into that, oh, I need to stay here because this person likes me, or I have to stay in this lane because, and you fill in the blanks there. So coming into your right rhythm, that's the key piece. So potent this week. If anything I've said in this session or any of my sessions like this confuses you, triggers you, you need a wee bit more support or guidance, just put it in the comments below or message me directly. These inner compass forecasts are intended to meet you where you are and to remind you of the power of who you truly are, and then gently guide you to listen to your own inner guidance. So, another nice deep breath. I'm going to send you off into this auspicious week ahead, but before I finish this session, I'm going to pull one of my Liberate Your Inner Truth. Because when we liberate our inner truth, then we can really trust and access our own inner compass for that guidance. And this is a good one. They're all good ones. It's I am capable. Can you see that? No, it's not going to focus for me. But it says I am capable. You are capable. Remember that. You know, when we start setting intentions, sometimes we can sit and say, oh, I can't do that just yet because I need to learn something. I need to connect with something else. Magician tells you and reminds you, you are capable. You are capable right here, right now. So let me read this out to you. I'm doing my best today, and that is good enough. Today is going to be an awesome day. I am capable of achieving my goals. I am proud of myself. That's a beautiful way to kind of come to completion with this whole idea of the first quarter phase of the moon in the sign of Virgo that's coming in at the end of this week. Much love to you. Like I said, you need any support or help, just let me know. I'm here for you. Have a fabulous week, and I'll be back again with you next week. Much love to you, and thank you for watching.